Hello, welcome to the first ever vlog or podcast or whatever you want to call it. It is currently like 1:13, I believe. So I have plenty of time to get through this. I'm gonna try and make this maybe 30 minutes. That way, it's not too long. And I'm gonna try to get through it with as little repetition as possible. So just a little bit about this. I felt like I needed a new hobby and I needed to start a new something to spice up my life, because recently it's been a very, very boring, and the novelty of the things that I used to do are kind of wearing off or have worn off. So I figured I needed to find something new to do, but I obviously didn't want to like use somebody for the novelty of it. So I decided that I was going to start a podcast and, review these whenever I'm an adult or something. Girl, you're 21. And it's just gonna be me and you and this microphone and my little NRG notebook in which I write down all the things I have to talk about, because I've recorded plenty of videos before this one. This is the final take. I don't care. But I keep like going all over the place, and I feel like I need to have at least some coherency in my timelines, because otherwise it's just not gonna really make much sense. So don't get me wrong, I'm still going to go all over the place, bouncing off walls, but at least you guys will know when I'm talking about something and why I'm talking about that something and why I decided to bounce off that wall. By the end of these videos, you guys are going to be able to identify exactly how my brain works and all of the little niche things that go on. But yeah, so the first thing I want to talk about today is how time reveals all doubts and all things. I feel like a lot of the times people don't really end up leaving from situations because they are not that confident in their decisions. And I'm a big bitch. I leave quicker than water runs down a river. I don't know. But don't get me wrong, I do have some moments where I'm like, dang, did I make the right decision? Did I make the right decision in that sense? Did I do what I had to do? And every single time I give it just a couple months, and I realize that I indeed did make the right decision. So I'm going to give you guys a couple examples, and I feel like another thing is just like, whenever you decide for yourself, you really can't go wrong. Even if it is theoretically the wrong decision, I feel like the world will really rotate, or I guess kind of, I don't know, like though it'll make like a fucking 360 to make sure that it's working, then it's in the best favor for you, in favor of you, in favor of your life. Like you'll be fine. You can't make a bad decision, I think. Obviously there's trivial things like smoking weed or some shit. Not that smoking weed's a bad decision. I mean, not that it's good. Like killing someone, obviously that's a bad decision, but I mean like in terms of like walking out of people's lives, or picking another job instead of that one, or picking something instead of the other, like you really can't make a bad decision because it's working in favor for you. Like even if it is the wrong decision, you'll learn something from that decision and then you'll be back on track. So I have two instances, actually. One in which I left and one in which I was left. We're going to talk about the one in which I left first, because I like the other story better, so I'm going to save it for last. This was my first boyfriend that I had. We started dating last year in March. I don't fucking remember. We started dating last year, and we broke up like June. But anyway, so what happened with this guy was, he was very good, but there was a couple instances, like the first, I really liked him and I was starting to love him, but then he fucked up. He followed this girl that I remember being like, bro, like, because I was uncomfortable with that girl, and I was like, hello, I'm uncomfortable with this woman. And like, I don't know why he thought it was okay to follow her, but he followed her on Instagram. And I'm not a jealous person. I don't think I'm a jealous person. I think if I'm jealous, then there is something that's going on, because I'm not a jealous person. Obviously, I have those moments. Everybody has those moments where, like, if I see my best friend and she's with another bitch, I'm gonna be like, hello? She needs to get her own. The fuck? But other than that, I don't think I'm necessarily, like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, no, you can't go out. or like, no, what the hell, you can't go with your friends. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. You're a grown man, you're a grown person, you can make your own decisions, and there will be repercussions to your actions if you do something wrong, and there will be rewards for your actions if you don't. Of course, you know what I mean, like dogs. But anyway, I don't know why every time that I do end up getting super jealous, or like I'm kind of like thinking about something a little too much, there's always a reason to it. So I remember I was super jealous about this girl, and it's not like he didn't follow other girls. He did. I don't know how I feel about the following girls. I don't know how I feel about it, so I'm just not going to talk about it. It's not something that's prominent in my life right now. I don't have to worry about my guy following other bitches. Like, I don't have to worry about it right now, because like it's just not something I have to worry about. I'm not talking to anybody. Like, I'm leaving it untouched because I don't have to touch it. It doesn't relate to me right now. I'll talk about it later, maybe whenever I have a clearer view of it, but right now it's whatever. But he followed this girl after I told him, because they were like giggling, and I remember I was being like, oh, so what's so funny? And he was like, oh, like, yeah, haha, bitch, the fuck. He followed, no, crap, I spoiled the story, whatever. They followed each other, and I remember there was a week after I found out that they were following each other that I didn't say anything. I was just growing resentment. I was growing angry, because I was like, you know what? I don't know what was going on with me that like time frame, but I remember I was holding on to everything everybody did. I was counting them up, and I was going to hit them with everything they've ever done if they pushed my button one more time. And I don't remember what it was. We were watching a movie. I think I was just angry, because at that point I had grown tired of it. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I can't believe you can sit here and be like, oh my god, like, you're so beautiful, and then you're going to go follow some other girl that I told you that I was uncomfortable with. That's weird. And he was like, what's wrong? And I told him, I brought it up. I was like, what about that girl? And he was like, what about her? And I was like, so do y'all like follow each other? And he was like, yeah. And then I asked him who followed who, and it was gonna be a lose-lose situation in both anyway. If he told me he followed her, obviously, if he told me that she followed him, like, why'd you accept her? But he told me that he followed her, and I was like, oh, okay. I said, okay. So I got up, I left. I went and I talked to my friends about it and whatever happened. And after that instance, I broke up with him. We got back together, but after that, I remember, like, the love that I was feeling, it just kind of dissipated. It was no longer there. I no longer, like, I was fond of him, but I didn't love him. And I knew I didn't love him. But I just kept kind of lying to myself, because I felt like at that point I was kind of already leading him on. It was just a bad situation, in my opinion. I'm not, like, and I'm not going to say that he was a bad person. He wasn't. He was really great, and I had fun. But I don't know. I knew I wasn't comfortable, and I waited too long to kind of express whenever I broke up with him. But I just remember being super, like, ever since then, I was like, every time I thought about, like, oh my god, he's a good guy, I think back to that one time, and because it didn't make sense to me. Like, I didn't understand why he did that. Fuck, I'm getting angry all over again. I just didn't understand why he did that. Like, hello? I didn't understand why he did that. And he was like, I didn't know, like, that wasn't my intention. Like, what do you mean that wasn't your, like, what was your intention? He was like, it's just, like, I knew her, like, that's why, like, no, you're weird. Like, you're weird. Like, that's weird. That's weird. That's odd. But I remember I left, and everything that I'm telling you guys right now was not how I felt in February. In February, because I found out something, which is why I say that time reveals, because time is going to let you know. Whenever you decide something, time is going to let you know why you decided that. I promise you, it's going to let your ass know. Like, you're going to find out. You're going to be proud that you left. And it's much better, in my opinion, to leave and deal with the doubt than to stay and then get left and then be like, fuck, I could have gone. I could have been gone. I could have been the fucking winner. Now I look like I'm the loser. I got left type beat. So that's why I say, like, if you feel like, whenever you feel like you gotta go, just go. If it's yours, it's gonna come back. And if it's not, like, you made the right decision. You can move on now. You can open up new doors for yourself. But in February, I remember thinking back to like the whole situation with him, and I was like, damn, I fucked up. Like I had somebody who actually loved me and like treated me with respect and with dignity. And I just let him go. And I remember feeling so upset about it. I was like, damn, I fucked up. I would listen to December by Taylor Swift and I'd be like, back to December. Bitch. Ugh. But whatever. I found out that he had this girlfriend that like they were close, whatever. Again, not a jealous person. I don't give a fuck. I just remember him telling me that I told like a lot of my friends, because I tell everybody everything, like I literally tell everybody everything. So I had told like several people about him and stuff, and I was like, well, who have you told? And he told me he told his two best friends that, by the way, did not like me. They said I was immature. I'm not immature. 1, 2, I was 20, so like if I was, what about it? Bitch, that's not my fault. He was a senior that went for a sophomore. Like that's not on me. That is not on me. I mean, what did you expect? But anyway, they were just stupid. The friends, whatever, I don't care. So he told me that his friends had said something. It wasn't that memorable. I don't remember what they had said. But then he told me about the girl, and he said that she had mentioned to him that we didn't make sense, that me and him did not make sense, that I was too extroverted. She basically said that I talked too much, and that we didn't make sense. And I was like, oh. I was like, well, everyone can have their opinions. I'm not going to sit here and be like a crazy girl. Like, I'm not going to be like, you need to stop talking to her because how dare her say that. But it did rub me wrong. It did rub me in the wrong way. I remember telling my two friends, I was like, and they were like, but we moved on because, again, not a jealous person. I'm not going to sit here and like crucify someone because they have an opinion. Like, did I know who this girl was? No. Had I ever talked to her? No. Where did she come up with the fact that I talk too much? No fucking clue. I had never spoken to her. I don't think I'd ever even seen her. Like, she was being my number one fan. And you can stay like that, stupid. Like, you're a rat. Both of y'all are rats. But whatever. I send the best of wishes. But if someone asks me what I think about them, yeah, y'all are both fucking sewer rats. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, I am love and peace, and I do wish them the best. But as far as my opinion about them goes, rats. They are literally rats. Like, dumpster rats. But whatever. Again, I wish them the best. Don't get me wrong. Me thinking that they're rats doesn't mean that I want these rats to not eat. Like, I want you guys to eat, you know? Just not at my table, not in my city, not in my vicinity, nowhere near me. But I found that out. And like he told me that, and I was like, oh, we moved on. Come to find out, apparently they're dating and stuff now, apparently. And I was like, wow, because like she apparently posted him or whatever, and I didn't find out about that until a couple weeks ago. I don't know, maybe, yeah, I don't remember. But like my little guilty, like, oh my god, I shouldn't have left him, like, oh my god, snapped out of it immediately. I was like, oop, never mind. I made the right choice. Because imagine, like, they were gonna end up together, so what the hell? Like, they liked each other during, like, obviously you found her attractive, right? Why would I want a boyfriend who finds his friends attractive? Like, that's weird. I mean, and listen, okay, no, that came out wrong, because I don't mind, like, yeah, you can find them attractive, but you're gonna go out there and date them after we're done? Like, that's crazy. And what's crazier is that woman was plotting on me. Like, she was plotting on him, actually, the whole time. Like that's crazy. That says so much about her too. Like, you're gonna sit here and discredit every girlfriend until you get them? Like, we didn't make sense, but you do. Actually, y'all do. You fucking both sewer rats. Yeah, y'all do make fucking sense. And I was just shocked. I was like, I was so, ooh, I'm getting angry again. I was like, wow. And I just remember being like, wow. Wowzers. I couldn't even say anything. Oh god, I hope they're happy. I hope they get married and have kids, and I hope that, like, I hope I never see them again, because that's disgusting. And I get, like, I shouldn't be upset because, like, that isn't my person anymore or whatever. That never really, I'm not gonna say that, that's rude, but that isn't my person anymore. But it's just the sense of betrayal that lingers still. Like, it's kind of like, okay, so the whole time that I was worried about some other girl, you were actually, I should have been worried about your friend that I wasn't even worried about because I didn't even know, but she knew me. So there we go. Time told me what I had to know. Time was like they saw me. He was like, he or she. What does time give? I think time gives a he, low key. Time saw me and was like, wow, she's out here really like. And it was whenever I was feeling it so crazy. Like, I was feeling it. I was like, oh my god, like, I cannot believe I left somebody that was good. Like, that's crazy. Like, you know. And then I think literally the day after, a couple days after I was like feeling these feelings so passionately, I find this out and I was like, wow, time really got me. He said, don't worry, I will let you know why you made the right decision. Because at the end, that was probably gonna come up. Like, and it's disgusting. And I can't see how, like, as a girl, you can be like that. Like, you're gonna talk down on me because you like the guy. Like, girl, whenever I've liked guys and like they like other girls, I like fucking hype the girl up. Because you know what? Yeah, I might not have him, but I'm not gonna talk shit about the fucking girl. Hello? She's beautiful. Obviously, she has something. Like, you're weird. You're so weird. You're weird AF. And I'm not even gonna tell you guys what I did. Well, I didn't do anything. I didn't find out until a couple weeks later. But I had requested her on Instagram. And now, like, now that I know, I feel like she's gonna be like, oh, she's like the crazy ex-girlfriend. Like, no, bitch. Like, I didn't, like, you just had hella mutuals. I just didn't know that, like, that had happened. If not, I wouldn't have done that. But, I was just trying to be friends. I didn't even realize that was her until I got the screenshot sent. And I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say who sent it, but just know, bitch, my friends are hawks. They don't sit here and play these games. Is that a person? They don't sit here and play these fucking games. Like, we're gonna get that shit done and we're gonna get it done correctly. But that was just weird to me. Disgust. And like, how could you, oh my goodness. And like, that kind of reversed everything I felt. Like, that whole love thing you said you had for me, false. Because you had a girl that you were gonna date, like, and you, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's the only girl you know, but damn, that's crazy. You know what? That's probably why it's better if a guy has more friends, because then if he has one friend that's a girl, like, that's probably who he's gonna end up with after, like, you're done with them. But if he has more than like a good 5 set of friends that are girls, like, what is he gonna do? Hit all of them? You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. I don't know. I just felt like I had to say that. Like, I feel like logically that makes a lot of sense, but again, I don't have to worry about that right now, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But there's one example whenever I left that I found that my decisions are correct. And I've always been very confident in my decisions. I feel like I have a very good sense, especially now. Like, these past couple of months have been very enlightening for myself. 2024 really is my year. I know that this year's going to be better. I know that this year's going to be better, like, better. Why did I repeat that? I know that this year's going to be better and greater than the last. And I'm super excited. I've gone through some things already, but I don't know. Adversity doesn't really terrify me anymore. I feel like it's a time to show, you know, how strong my brain is and how I can handle things without necessarily being super upset. So anytime anything bad happens, well, instead of seeing it as like, why me, I see it like, great, it's me. Like, now I can showcase how much I've grown as a person. Because if I would have gone through something like this when I was 19, I would have, like, hit the man up and been like, you're a fucking cunt, you know? But I didn't. Because I can't control what people do, and I'm not going to sit here and try and control what they do. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I care either. Because, I mean, yeah, what the hell? What the fuck? Why is he in a bike? Why is he up here then? Just kidding, that's crazy. Imagine having to set that up every single day. You, like, oh no. You have arm day, and then I'm going to go to the gym after this, by the way. But anyway, I'm at 20 minutes, and I still have not even talked or touched on the second story. But I'm kind of getting carried away again. Like, as I said in the beginning, I get carried away. But I just, guys, that's crazy. I've realized though that it's just better to just let things be, honestly. Like, your enemies are gonna, like, your ops, they'll crash and burn before you even have a chance to do it for them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just let it be. Let it be. They'll get what's theirs. They'll get what they deserve in a good way and in a bad way. I mean, it's whatever. I feel like you get what you deserve such a negative connotation, but that's not. I genuinely mean you will get what you deserve. You will, be happy or you will be upset. But anyway, moving on to whenever I got left. So me and this person, we're cool now. We're friends again. I'm not nearly as close to her as I used to be. Also, if you guys keep seeing me, like, lick my lips, I don't know if I've done it this episode. I keep licking my lips. I don't know why I do it. I think it's like just like an anxious thing. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna work on that. But yeah, me and her, we're not as close anymore. We're still friends. So if she sees this, don't be upset. This is just the way that my mind worked through all of this. And it's, in general, I think that these experiences are mine to tell, or mine to keep, and I'm gonna tell because it's pertaining to the time reveals concept that we're talking about. But okay, we were best friends. We met sophomore year of high school, and then we basically had like a little falling off junior year, and then senior year we started being friends again because we found out we were going to the same school. She invited me to her graduation party, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. We were there. I was there. It was where I was there. I remember it all too well. So yeah. And then we were friends throughout the summer and just the fall of our freshman year of college, because she was changing. She had a lot more. We both came from very strict parents, a background of very strict parents. So she dormed, I commuted. I still had the strict parents. She had a lot more freedom now that she was dorming, and I feel like that changed her, and in my opinion it was not for the best. I just remember like trying so hard to hang out with this girl, and she'd always be like, I can't, I'm busy, but she'd be hanging out with like other girls that were her friends, and she'd excuse it by saying that they were in the same like college. Like, she, I'm a business major, she did whatever she did, and that's why. And I was like, okay, right? But I just felt like she wasn't really hanging out with me anymore, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna sit here and like bother you, right? But I kept bothering her because that was the first time in my life that I had fought for somebody. Like, I wanted to stay so bad, and I wanted it to be her so bad. Like, me and her, we were like this, and I felt like I had experienced, like, we knew each other since sophomore year of high school. Like, she came from another country. I'm obviously not going to disclose much about her. She's like my friend now, and I have so much love for her, and I always did throughout it all. Literally throughout it all, which like made it so much worse whenever I heard the things she was saying about me, because I remember being like, damn, like, my best friend at the time, after she had left, would say things about you, and I would be like, no, don't say that about her, because I loved her, and I still do. But I remember trying so hard to keep this girl in my life, and like, she was like, you know what, like, this friendship is exhausting, like, I can't do this anymore. And I was like, okay, well, that was like, damn. Towards the end of it, I definitely started getting more aggressive, though. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie, but I'll explain the whole timeline. So she basically said I was an exhausting person, and like our friendship was exhausting or whatever. We're not, I mean, whatever. And I'm a very empathetical person, so because she had mentioned, she was like, I like the person I'm becoming, and I did not like the person she was becoming. I didn't like the things she was doing. I didn't like how some of her comments that she'd make were very hypocritical of the things she'd do. I didn't like it. I felt like she came off as very disingenuous, and in my opinion, I just did not like it. But I loved her, and I wanted to keep her in my life, and I was willing to accept that change, even if I did not like it. But she was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. And I was like, okay, bet, whatever. Well, it wasn't whatever. I still had I have my guy best friend. His name's Arsalan. He's super cool. Love him so much. He's still out there. Shout out to you. He's been my best friend for forever. Like, I can lose anybody, but, you know, if he's there, like, I'll be fine. So it wasn't too terrible because I still had my other best friend. And I met this angel through her, kind of, who, you know, is my best friend now, and she's super great. And we're actually going through a little moment right now, so I'm going to skip over this, but I'll tell y'all more about it later. She's not the topic right now. But I had that other friend that I was becoming my best friend at the time, and I was pretty great. It was incredible. I mean, I was very upset. Like, I remember specifically one time, it was 4 a.m, and I was just sobbing uncontrollably into my pillow because I was like, what the hell? Like, why? Like, I loved you so much and I tried so hard, and I was going through so much at that time in my life. Like, terrible. And I don't think I'll ever talk about this. Oh, but let me write it down. I don't know if I'll ever talk about this, because this one's like, actually, like, this is the root of like my trauma. Like, that is what made me the person I am today. And it's kind of rewired my brain. That specific that whole semester and what happened in my personal life, like with my family, rewired my brain in a way that I never imagined I could be rewired. So, like, she was kind of like the last thing I had. And I just was super, super, super upset. And I was like, damn, like, I don't understand why. And then, you know, the years passed or whatnot. We stopped being friends in 2021, 2023, 2024. When did we start being friends? I think it was like last year. Like at the end of last year, we started talking again. But I, like, throughout those years, I found out so many things that I didn't even ask for. Like, they just came up to me. Like, and that's the thing about me. I'm saying, like, I just would find things out and I don't even look for it. I don't ask for it. I just find it. Like, it doesn't I don't find it. It finds me. And she was going on a downward spiral. It was terrible. It was, the things I heard and the person that she had become, it revealed to me, again, time reveals to you why things that are happening to you are in the best, they're for you. They're, you know, they're aligned to create a better path for you. Because I found out it was bad. And not terrible. It's just like, wow, I couldn't imagine myself being friends with somebody like that. And then we found each other whenever, you know, she kind of was back up on her feet and she was a lot better and in a better place. And she's admitted that, you know, she just wasn't a very good person. In my opinion, I think she was still a good person. She was just kind of a little misguided. She had a lot of freedom and she didn't really know how to handle it as well. And the people surrounding her were not good. They were terrible. I mean, oh my goodness. But, you know, it just so happened that, you know, we're cool now, and I don't really want to talk too much about what happened with her just because we're still friends. But I will say the people around her were not very good. They weren't good. And I'm not saying that the blame is on the people around her, because you as a person, you have to be able to take responsibility for your actions. There was things that she was doing that were not okay. Everything was just not okay. And now, you know, she's like told me, she's like, yeah, I wasn't a good person. I've realized that and stuff. And now we found our way back to each other. And again, we're not as close, and I don't ever think I'll be as close as I used to be with her, but I do like having her in my life. I just don't really, you know, I love her, and I think that it's completely okay to let people back in. Just keep them at a distance, unless it's like lovers. I don't think that works. That one doesn't work like that. Don't let them, I don't know. Again, I don't have to worry about that. But anyway, in terms of friends, or at least in terms of my friendship with her, I'm okay with allowing her to be, like, for us to be friends again. No, friends. For us to be friends again, just as long as we kind of keep our distance a little bit, because even now her presence is still a little bit triggering, because it's like, I love you, I do, but I can't forget the time when I was crying uncontrollably into my pillow at 4 in the morning because I wanted something so bad and you clearly didn't want it the same. And I felt like my love was just not as valued as I appreciated you, if that makes sense. So yeah, that happened, and now we're cool again. But I don't know. I find that throughout everything, like in terms of life, it'll always be, sorry, there's people over there. Just, it's always just give it time. I know that sounds so difficult to, like, it's very difficult whenever you're going through it, and it's like, but like, I need it to come quicker, but you really just do need to give it time, because time is like an eraser, you know? In every sense, it erases things from the past, or, you know, it erases things from a paper so you can see it clearly or whatnot. Like, I just think that it's I don't know. I personally think that time has been my best friend, even whenever I don't want it to. Because you know how time stops for nobody? That doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, you know? Sometimes time and the fast-paced lifestyle that we've learned to live here is the one thing that you need to move on, you know? I mean, like, if I didn't have assignments due, or if I didn't have the pressure of fulfilling my dreams and my goals and my aspirations, I don't think I'd be nearly as far as I've gotten in terms of anything, really. You know? So sometimes the fast pace, sometimes time not stopping for anything or anybody is a good thing. Because with time, you will find out why things worked out the way things worked out. You will find out that things are working in your favor. Things are happening when they have to happen, because it was setting you up for something greater to happen. And I think it's beautiful. Especially right now, I don't know, life's just very pretty, and we've got to learn to be more appreciative of it, you know, the simple things that are ops, literally. So I know that, oh man, I mean, from the person I was, like, just a while ago, literally, like, last fall, to the person I am now, I've gradually become obviously more accepting of life. And I remember I used to be like, fuck, why is this happening to me, like a fucking bitch. But now, like, right now, sorry, I'm trying to put my shoe back on, like, there's nothing that I would change from my life. I love it the way it is, and I love I don't know, I love everything the way it is right now. Even though I do have some things that are going on that I'm kind of like, fuck, I still love it, because I feel like with time, I will find out why things are the way that they are right now. And with time, I'm going to find out that things were working in my favor. You kind of have to rewire your brain, change your machinery a little bit, and realize that life's not nearly as bad as we make it out to be. Damn, he parked like shit. Life's not nearly as bad as we make it out to be, and sometimes the only thing that's stopping us from moving on is our own selves and our sense of... God, why is he looking at me? His sense of our own selves, and just our incapability of being able to move on. So, I don't know, guys. But I am about to head to class, so I think that concludes the first podcast for today. I hope that you leave this podcast just knowing that everything is where it has to be, and everything is okay, and you're gonna be okay. And he is looking at me talking into a camera. I'm fucking embarrassed. Okay, I hope you leave this podcast with a sense of comfort, and if you're going through an anxious moment right now, just know that you're gonna be okay, and time's gonna tell you why you're gonna be okay, and everything's working for you. And there's nothing like the moment that you are in right now. So I hope you guys like this podcast. I know that a lot of my friends that are watching this, you already heard these stories. The first one, at least. The second one, maybe not all of y'all. But the first one, I'm sorry I couldn't be more specific on the second story. It's just that I do have to respect some boundaries. I can't just air out everyone's business. I will air out my own and how I felt about it, but not everybody else's. But this was super fun. I'm gonna head to class now, and I will see you guys tomorrow, or I don't know, whenever I see y'all. Tomorrow's Friday, so maybe not tomorrow. Or maybe tomorrow we can go get some In-N-Out and we can talk together about it. It's just that I don't really know if you guys want to hear mukbangs. Is that how you say it? Because I had a friend that was telling me that that's not how you say it. Whatever. If you want me to eat while talking, it's just that it's going to be a little difficult. I'd have to set up. I'm going to work on setting this shit up here because I think that that's so cute. And that's just funny as fuck. Like, but, yeah, let me know what you guys want to hear about next. I'm super, like, open to talking about anything. Literally ask me questions or whatever. You can like text me because I know that this is like mostly for my friends. Well, right now, yeah, right? But I hope that you guys like, if you want to text me to talk or cover about something, just let me know. If you'd like to come on the podcast as well, let me know. I will 100%. I already have a second microphone. Like, if you would like to pull up to the podcast, I'm totally accepting it. Or maybe not, actually, because I don't think that one's compatible with this little, like, thing in here. Oh, yeah, I can't see it. But, if you guys think that these, like, let me know. Like, I'm super open to, constructive criticism and topics that you guys may want me to cover. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that there. So if there's something that you'd like for me to talk about, or if there's something that you guys think I should... If you want to know more about a specific something that I talked about, I can totally include that in the next one as well. But again, I hope that you guys have a nice day, and thank you for tuning in. And remember that life's going to be all right. Everything is going to be okay, guys. It really is. Like, sometimes the hardest part about life is how worrisome we are. And you, in your brain, you're always going to make things a lot more difficult and, you know, loathsome than they actually are. So yeah, I love you all. I will see you guys in the next one, and I hope you all enjoyed. Bye bye.